There are officially 31 days left in this year. Let's give ourselves a little head start so when January 1st comes, we're ready to achieve our goals throughout the new year, 2025. It sounds like the year to achieve our goals. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Nicole and I am a stay-at-home mom to two toddlers that are 20 months apart. Before being a stay-at-home mom, I was a regulatory attorney focusing on food law and policy. I live with my two kids and my husband in Sterling, Virginia, which is like 45 minutes outside of Washington, D.C. I've been with my husband for almost 10 years now. This upcoming April will be 10 years since we started dating. Officially. If you are new to my channel, I share a lot of cooking videos, a lot of vlogs of my days. I will also do some like health and wellness motivation type videos. So if you're interested in any of that, you can subscribe, you can like this video, you can check out some of my other videos if you want to see what's going on before you decide to subscribe. This video is going to start off my new winter arc series. I've mentioned my winter arc journey in a few other videos, but I want to do an official series this month, and I'm going to share one video every week on some type of health and wellness thing. This video will be more like an intro, and then at the end of the video I am going to take you through my little nighttime routine, which I do think is important and is encompassing to me under health and wellness. This month especially, I do want to hit some specific goals, which I'm going to go through with you, of course, and I hope that motivates you and inspires you. Either you can follow along and do my exact goals or come up with goals yourself. I really think that once you write something down, once you tell someone, I'm telling you, about your goals, it makes it much more likely to happen. I'm saying I think that, but actually studies show that that is true, that once you voice it or write something down, it's more likely to happen. That's where manifestation comes from. And I think it really, even if you don't believe in manifestation, when you tell someone your goals and like you really mean it, or if you write it down, it is more front of mind. Of course, there's something going on outside. It's more front of mind, and then also you have some kind of accountability. Yeah, let's go over my goals that I'm going to hit this month, and then I'll take you through my nighttime routine at the end of this video. So I made a little document. I have my laptop here. I made a little document probably a week ago or so with my 7 goals that I want to hit this month. The first one is 7 hours of sleep every night. This is probably honestly going to be the hardest one for me to hit. As I mentioned, I do have 2 young kids, and if you are a parent, you know that once your kids are even of the age where they're sleeping through the night, it still is a little bit hard to get enough sleep, because once they're sleeping, you feel like you finally have time for yourself, so you have to a little bit force yourself to go to sleep at an appropriate hour. And then also for me, I do wake up quite early. I wake up between 4 and 5 o'clock. Sometimes I'll push at 5:30, but I am quite an early riser. So if I'm not in bed by like 8:30 at the latest and then actually sleeping by 9:30 or 10, I'm just not getting enough sleep. And I know how important sleep is. The more I look into it, the more I'm like, I need to get my sleep in check, because the biggest thing that scares me is apparently not getting enough sleep can really lead to Alzheimer's, and I think Alzheimer's is one of the saddest things, and it's just like really scary, and I think it's really sad for the people in your life to see you deal with that. So yeah, sleep is very important. It's going to be probably the hardest goal for me. I'm making it number 1 because I really think I need to work on it. I'm going to be tracking my sleep with my little Oura ring. This video is not sponsored, but I would love if I could work with Oura rings someday, because I did get an Oura ring when they're like pretty new. Like I didn't really know anyone with one, and I've chatted about it and actually encouraged a few people to get them. So yeah, that would be a dream to work with them in the future sometime. We'll see. See, I'm saying it out loud. Maybe it will happen. My next goal is to get 140 grams of protein. This is a winter arc series, and with winter arc, for me at least, I want to make sure that I am maintaining as much muscle as possible. I say maintaining only because I am also trying to lose fat, and it is very hard to lose fat and gain muscle at the same time, especially if you've been weightlifting for a long time. If you are just recently getting into weightlifting, or you've taken like a year or 2 extended break, there is something called like newbie gains, where you can quite easily, not easily, but more easily than if you've been lifting for a while, lose fat and gain muscle at the same time. I actually did take quite a long break from like lifting very heavy. So when I first got back into lifting again, I do think I put on a little bit of muscle while losing fat, but I think for the most part now I'm just gaining some strength and then maintaining my muscle and then losing fat. So it looks like I'm putting on more muscle because the fat is kind of peeled away and you can see the muscle more. But all that being said, to maintain, to build muscle, you do need to eat quite a lot of protein. If you do not track your protein, you're wanting to eat more protein, I would really, really recommend, if you're in the mental space, to do that, to track your protein intake at minimum. If you're trying to lose fat, I would actually recommend tracking your food intake altogether for at least a week. See how much you're eating. And if you want to lose fat, don't cut your calories in half. You don't need to do that. Drop your calories by 200-300 calories and see for a week or two how much weight you lose. You will probably lose more than you're expecting, especially when you first start dieting. That water weight's gonna come off first. 200 to 300 calories is quite a deficit. So start off slow and then increase. I've been in a fat loss period since the end of May, let's say from June. And I originally started off, I think I dropped my calories by like 200 or so. If you also want to know what your maintenance calories are, search like TDEE online calculator, put in your info. You can probably get an idea of what your maintenance calories are. Eat at that calorie amount for like a week or two, see if your weight goes up or down. If your weight goes down, it's not your maintenance calories. If your weight goes up, it's not your maintenance calories, and then adjust to that. I'm really going on a rant. If you want to understand more about like calories and what you should do and stuff for fat loss, maybe I can do a whole separate video on that. So let's stop there. I'm gonna be trying to eat 140 grams of protein. Right now, I've been eating like 120 to 130 on like a really good day. I'll get up to like 140, maybe 150, but that has not been as consistent. I would say I'm consistently getting probably around 120. And I do know for my specific body size and my specific goals that I should be upping that a little bit. I'm not going crazy. I know some people say that you should be eating 1 gram of protein per body weight. I think that's a little bit excessive. That will also wreck my digestive system. That's going to back me up. I'm not gonna do that. I don't think it's worth it. So 140 is plenty. Next goal is going to be reading 10 pages every day of just like a book, just a normal book, not, because I'm gonna go over also another one of my goals is a devotional. So that's also gonna be reading, but I wanna count just like a separate book. This is mostly because I've been out of my reading era for so long. There was a time where I was easily reading like 1 to 2 books every other week, probably like, yeah, probably on average like 2 to 3 books a month, and that was very easy, very simple for me to do. But once you get out of the habit of reading, I really do think it's hard to get back on track, especially as a parent, because when I do have time, I just kind of want to zone out and just watching YouTube, watching TV, which is fine. I'm not saying I'm going to cut that out, because I'm not, but I do just want to get more in the habit of reading regularly. I will probably mostly be reading at night, because then I'm taking away like the blue light. I will use my Kindle probably most of the time, but I don't count that as blue light. You might, I don't. So yeah, I just want to get back in the habit of reading. I've gotten some book recommendations from people. I've been reading this one book for I don't know how long. I don't even know if I remember like the plot anymore, because I haven't picked it up in so long. I have a few like actual paper books that I have downstairs like in my like little bookcase that I still haven't read that I need to get to. And I like reading. It's really about like, you know, when you just get out of the habit of reading, it's really difficult to get you back in it. But once you start reading again, you realize how much you like it. My next goal is daily meditation. I always put meditation on my to-do list every single day. And I would say I meditate probably on average every other day, but I really want to start doing it every day. Every time I do it every day, it does help me feel very good and at peace. And like, especially if I'm doing a meditation, it says like, just take these 5 minutes for yourself, like you deserve that. And I do deserve that, and you deserve it too. So adding that to my goal, even though it is something that I've been meditating quite regularly for a while, I've definitely fallen out of the habit of doing it every single day, and I want to get back on that habit, as I said, before the new year starts. So I'm more, I don't know, it's just more, I'm ahead. That's what Winter Arc is about, right? It's about, instead of just being like, oh, who cares about our health? Oh, who cares about the wellness? Who cares about it? Let's just trash the end of the year, and then I'll start fresh in January. The whole idea of Winter Arc is let's lock in now. So by the time January comes, we're like, I've already been doing it. January hates to see me coming. That's what you want to feel like. You want to get to January and be like, oh my gosh, look who's coming. She's been winter arcing for the past 2-3 months. If you haven't been and you're watching this video December 1st, I don't care. If you're watching this video December 15th, you can still do it. Even if you're watching this January 1st, who cares? You just screw the whole winter arc thing. Make your goals and just go forward with it. The next goal is to read my devotional daily. I'm actually pretty good at doing some kind of devotional. Usually if I don't have the time in the morning to do like a physical devotional, I will on my phone do the Bible app. This, can you see that? I don't know if it'll focus, I don't think it is, but it's just like the Holy Bible app. And if you open it up daily, they have this thing that says like today it says the verses Philippians 2:7-8. The only thing I don't like about this is that they always have some different person and like chatting, and I'm not a huge fan of like the people that chat. I personally do not like to, like, if I'm gonna listen to you talk about spirituality and stuff, I need to have some kind of background. I need to know a little bit more about you than to just like watch it and take what you say as Bible, pun intended. So I don't like doing that. I have read quite a few devotionals. The one I'm going to be starting is 31 Days of Winning by Jennifer L. Garner. I looked into her. I haven't read anything by her, but it had quite good reviews. I like that this one has like some pages for reflection. I also like that this one is quite short, the devotional pages. Like, it's not going to take more than 5-10 minutes, I would say, looking at it. And I think that's a really good way if you are wanting to get into devotionals to do something. Don't make it be something that's going to take you like 30 minutes because it just seems way more intimidating that way. The way I see devotionals is just some time. I kind of see it similar to meditation. How much of this do I want to go into? I grew up going to church. I grew up believing in God. That is just how I grew up. It wasn't like later in my life I got into religion. I just grew up like that. But a little bit before I turned 27, I have videos on this on my channel. I had 2 miscarriages pretty back to back before having my daughter. And it was kind of the first time in my life, which when I'm saying it out loud, it actually sounds like very lucky to be that old before something in my life happened so drastic that it really changed my view on religion. So that's something I'm grateful for in a way. But once that happened, it was kind of the first time in my life where I was like, okay, something is happening to me that is so terrible for me, and then like I believe in God. I don't know, it really did shatter my faith in a way, but then also in the same way made me create my own actual relationship with God, with spirituality, with religion. Now if you were to ask me if I'm religious, I actually don't love the word religion. I don't like the word religious. I think a lot of religion is it's like a tiny bit cultish. Can I say that? And I don't like that. I really think it's up to every single person to figure out their own relationship with God, figure out what God means to them. I really cannot, like, especially with like what's going on now, support people that believe in God, but then also like just so much hate. Anytime I see that, I like picture God like, what are you doing? Like, that is not what I meant. Like, to me, God is just love. That's really what it comes down to. All that being said, I really like having that connection with spirituality, with the universe, whatever. It's all connected in my head. Whether or not there's this big, like, whatever we picture God as is not as important to me as just having that like spirituality. That's what I believe. But even if that doesn't exist, it doesn't take away from my spirituality and belief. And I think that's the difference to me between religion and spirituality. When I hear a lot of people say they're religious, to them it's like, how could you not believe in God? Like, that's so dumb. I think if you don't believe in God, that actually seems more logical than believing in God. And I think coming to that realization makes believing in God even more special. Like, logically, I understand why someone wouldn't, but I still do. And I feel like that's even more special, that I believe in God, I believe in the universe, I believe that something is connected. I've read some other few devotionals if you want some recommendations. New Morning Mercies, I actually read that shortly after I went through the miscarriages, and I really enjoyed that. I've read My Utmost for His Highest a couple of times. If I'm getting it right, that's a 40-day devotional. This Here Flesh is a really good one. Black Liturgies is another really good one. My next goal is to work on a new skill every day. I think this one is really fun, and the new skill I have thought of is doing splits, which will actually also encourage me to stretch. For how much I weightlift, I do not stretch enough. It is so bad. I got a massage a couple months ago and he was like, you're not stretching. I can tell. And I was like, you're right, I'm not stretching. I used to be able to do basically a split, like just there, and I've lost that completely, and I want to get back in there. I'm 31. There's no reason why I shouldn't be able to be like that flexible. So I want to get back to that point, doing it for 31 days. We'll see how far I go and how much I get into that. This one, I think, especially if you're watching this and you're like, nah, I don't like that goal. Nah, I don't like that goal. A new skill, why not? And you can make that anything. Let's say you've been wanting to get into sourdough, make that your new skill for the month. Let's say you've been wanting to get into pottery, make that, like, you can make anything your new skill. That's so fun. I like that one. I'm just hyping myself up. I made these and I'm like, oh, good job. And the last goal that I want to be doing is core rehab. So again, as I mentioned 500 times, I do have 2 kids and I had 2 very big babies. My daughter was 10 pounds 4 ounces and my son was 10 pounds 13 ounces. So basically 11 pounds, and they stretched out my tummy. I spent more time doing core rehab after I had my daughter, and I really do think that my core came back together tighter. After my son, I was a little bit more lazy with it, and I definitely should have been doing it, but I just didn't, and now it's biting me in the butt. So I really do think I have still some ab separation. It was definitely worse and it's gotten a little better, but I still think it's there, and I can tell primarily because when I do a crunch, I'm having some doming. So I want to do some core rehab and then ab exercises. It's just going to be a 5-minute routine every day that I do it. Very easy, very simple. This is not something I have to do at any certain time. I could do it right before going to bed. I could do it randomly in the middle of the day. I've been doing like every other day, I'll randomly just do some bird dogs or what's it called, dead bugs. And if I'm like even playing with my daughter and my son, my daughter starts doing it because she thinks it's some kind of weird game I'm playing. I want to make it as easy as possible for me to just continue to do it daily and really see if I can work on that ab separation. It might be something I'm not able to work on. It might be something that I have to actually go to physio for. We'll see, but I want to commit to doing it every day to see what helps. I have this little spreadsheet that I'll pop on the screen if you want to make something similar. I kept it very simple, nothing fancy. And I'm just going to every day at the end of the day put like a big X if I hit the goal, and if I don't, it will be empty. And then end of the month leading into January, I can look at where, I don't know, if I hit it every day, if there's some things I missed. The next video that I'm going to film is of what I eat in a day. So if you're wanting to see that, kind of how I've been eating to lose so far 25 pounds, you can subscribe so you don't miss that video. And then you will have at least 2 other videos this month on the winter arc round. I hope you liked hearing the goals that I have this month upcoming, and I hope that you are getting excited to set some goals even if you're not doing it now, maybe for January. And I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me.